you need to go back to this, you can do that because this is very important. And I hope that you have all the questions you have in mind so that we are working together very smoothly and without any problems. So in our meeting today, we are trying to cover these items. We are trying to do some housekeeping regarding the mechanism of the work together, regarding the way you submit things, regarding responding to my messages or my calls or whatever. So we'll try to figure out how things can go smoothly from this time on. And I will receive your questions regarding anything in the course so that I can help. We are going to do our final grouping today. If you have, we'll see if you have any problems with working together. We'll try to fix these problems or change the grouping, and then we'll have some details on our in your work for weeks 8, 9, and 10, because this will be our meeting, which we are going to discuss together the final project details. So stay tuned and be as attentive as you can and ask as many questions as you can so that we have everything clear at the end of this meeting. So as I just said now or today, just in a minute ago, that I was very surprised when I sent you the reminder, and I checked that you all saw the reminder, but nobody, responded or saying yes, we are coming, or no, we're not coming, or whatever. But it just and this is not a nice way of keeping the communication between the teacher and the students. So one of the things that we actually like to do is to keep our communication ongoing. And when you ask for my intervention, my support, I actually readily do that, and I have no problems doing it. This is one thing. The other thing is when you ask a question or you would like my support, you need to give me like time before you ask me for a meeting. For instance, if you ask me for a meeting, you might not say let's meet today, because it's called short notice, and I may have some work, and I wouldn't be able to do that. So what we uh, we need to do in order to facilitate the discussions, to facilitate our learning in the course, is to consider each other's schedules, each other's times, and our ability to communicate in an effective manner. The other thing is working together. So you are a group of adults, and you are working in schools, and you have a lot of pressures. So the ability to tolerate the pressures you have in your schools, maybe in your life, should help you to manage the pressures you have in the course. So if you are a group of four or three, and then someone is lagging behind for one reason, and or some people are working in a manner that is not, comfortable for the others, you might need to find ways to get everybody in the loop. Um, so these are the comments that I have in mind, and I know that we are in the work we have on the Moodle. We are a little bit like one day late. So because you started work on week 8 on, I think, on Saturday, you should be working on that like 2 days before. So that's okay, because we will be starting, or the work on week 8 is actually our first step in our final project, and it's very, very early. We have like 4 more weeks to finish that work. So I don't have any problem about uh, uh, having late submissions for week 8, But starting from week 8, so week 8, 9, 10, all these weeks will be actually addressing the same thing, which is working on the final project, and that will be our focus of discussion today. So these are the things that I would like to just bring to your attention. And if you have any questions for me regarding any general thing about the course, any general thing about submissions, about assignments, about grades, about groups, please bring this to the discussion before we go on. Okay, May, go ahead.
Thank you, Doctor. First, I want to ask, are we going to change the groups? Because we are already working on our final project as a group. And we already did a Google form and on Google Drive, and we also added you to it.
I know that.
Okay, so we are already working, so we are not going to change, right? Yes, please say yes.
Are you asking or answering?
I'm asking, are we going to change? I don't want because we are already working. So are we going to change?
We'll see. We'll see because this is a class discussion. We'll see if we have problems in one group. So we'll try to find ways to solve the problems. If these problems are not solved, so we may need to change the groups, of course.
Okay. The second thing, do we have to choose if it's project based or problem based? Because
Yes, I will discuss this when we come to the project itself. So we'll have a big discussion on the final project. So we'll come to this.
okay, and
So I keep that question. So don't forget about it. Keep it.
okay, and Mrs. Rania is just taking permission. She's getting her son from the training, and she will join us soon.
Right. Okay. All right.
Okay, and since we were still discussing the groups and the final project, so I will postpone all the questions till we know for sure.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
and I apologize for not replying, but I have a very busy day on school every Wednesday. So
All right. No
sorry about
problem. No problem. I'm just trying to make things clearer because keeping the channel back and forth with the instructor is very important because I if you don't respond to this, I may assume that okay, you are not coming, and I have other schedule, so uh, I just ignore the meeting for one reason because you even didn't say we are coming or we are not coming or whatever. So that's very important in communication. Very important.
it. Okay, thank you.
Or okay, Mushira.
Hello, doctor. How are you?
Good, good.
I have many questions actually. First, I'd like to ask about the assessment tool for BBL. All three groups have, each one has one unit, and each one apply for assessment tool. But can I ask something? Can we exchange this assessment tool with your feedback on it to get more familiar and used to understand this assessment tool?
So what is the question? The question is that
I,
we
I
don't need.
need, we need your permission to can we ask together about that and send it maybe in WhatsApp group or something? All the work done by three groups, if this possible. انا قريت الوحدات الثلاثه والاسسمنت تول يعني لطيفه وقويه جدا حقيقه، فكنت عايزه اشوف المفروض ان احنا نعملها ازاي، بس كنت محتاجه اشوفها بوجهه نظر حضرتك، يعني الفيدباك بتاع حضرتك كان مفيد، فهل في امكانيه ان احنا نتبادلها مع بعض؟
طبعا لازم تبقى.
لو ده اوكي. اصل موديل
طبعا.
مش فاتح لنا ان احنا نشوف شغل مجموعات تانية، يعني على موديل احنا مش شايفين شغل بعض.
Oh, you'd like to
فانا
see
مش
each other's assessment.
لو في امكانيه.
Oh, yeah, why not?
لو
But they need all the groups need to agree on this because
ما انا عشان كده استنيت الميتنج. لو كلهم اوكي هكون شاكره ان احنا نستفيد من بعض في حاجه زي كده.
yeah, and I can start a discussion topic on the Moodle. So and maybe in week 9 here I can add a discussion like this one. Okay, and
Okay.
it will be called assessment tool exchange. All the groups
Mm.
submit their assessment tools here, and you can see each other's work, and you can look at how you assist each other's. You assist the tool. The units were assigned to each group. So
Okay.
I can do that if you
Thank you.
okay. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, go ahead.
أم،
For the other
عندي
question.
حاجة يس عندي حاجة تانية في اليونت اللي حضرتك طالبها، في formative وسبماتيف assessment. لو أنا عندي إحنا عاملين project problem solve، فدلوقتي أنا هنعمل الفورماتيف والسبماتيف assessment integrate مع بعض كفور discipline، ولا يبقى كل discipline وحدها؟
Mm.
يعني انا بايو عندي مثلا نقط محدده عايزه اقيم بيها فورماتيف او اسسمنت، كذلك الفيزيكس، كذلك الكمبيوتر انجلش وهكذا، ولا نشتغل بسيستم واحد، يعني نعمل طريق خط واحد؟ يعني دي فكره
So
كنت عايزه
so again you are jumping to the question on the final unit, final project.
No, it's
We have
already in week 8. It's already in week
yes
8.
yeah I know, but week 8 is the start of the final project, and we are going to discuss this later today. So we'll have time to discuss these questions on the project.
Okay.
We'll discuss
Okay.
this. So keep the questions, and I'm going to discuss them.
Okay. كمان سؤال معلش.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
For the theme for the unit, I understand it from previous course. It will be like a headline away from the project, and then keep find inquiry and find grab questions, asking students about it, what it mean, what it related to their life, and having then we concluded the main idea for the theme, or it has to be related direct to the unit.
So when we look at the theme,
Mm.
the theme, and the theme is a big topic, is a very open topic, like let's say energy, for instance,
Mm.
or happiness,
Okay.
or cooperation. So it's like a topic, like in this way, systems, okay, um, sustainability. So this is called the theme, okay, and it's a
Oh.
theme because it's a big topic and it's open for many things. So what we need is to have that theme. Let's say it's sustainability, okay, guys,
Okay.
and that theme should be one way or another related to your curriculum, right? It's not a
Yes.
theme out of the thin air. It should be related to this, what the students study in their school, the curriculum. So
Yes. Yes.
if and it can be, and one of the most important things about good themes is that it can be found. It has links to the different disciplines. It can be found in English, math, science, art. Okay, so when we say our theme is sustainability, we are sure that uh, we have something in these different disciplines that is addressing sustainability or related to sustainability. So this is
Mm.
the theme, and then from the theme we have a challenge, we have a problem. So we decide on a challenge or a problem related to sustainability, right? So
Okay.
we might what what makes sustainability a problem in our region or in our country? We may think of garbage. We
Oh
may
yeah.
we may think of fuel fuels or fossil fuels. Sorry, fossil fuels is something that is related to is a problem that can cause issues to sustainability. So if the theme is sustainability, so anything related to uh, uh, crippling or facing or causing a damage or reducing sustainability is related to that theme. So you say that our grade level is, for instance, grade 11. Our theme is sustainability. Our grand challenge is fossil fuels or alternative energy or whatever, lack of good energy or whatever. So, but after you decide on the theme and the challenge. So this is the theme, okay,
Mm-hmm.
sustainability, and this is the challenge. It's fossil fuels, okay. Then you need to say,
Okay.
yeah, in our curriculum we have these standards. So if this is an American curriculum, you have standards. So standards in English, in math, in science that are directly related to this problem of fossil fuels, and you write the standard. If you don't have standards, you have topics. Okay, so
Yes.
students study in English and science and math these topics that are very much related to fossil fuels or sustainability. And then after these standards, you need to get so a standard is in education. A standard is a big objective or a big goal. So they say that standard one in English, the students can write an essay of 100 words. In science, students should or can understand heat transfer or the difference between living and non-living organisms. So this is a standard, and then you can take these things down into the learning outcomes of each subject. So say by the end of this unit, students will be able to create, ask, discuss whatever you think is pertinent, and you're going to learn more about this in 502 in the assessment course. So when you are
Mm-hmm.
done with this stage, which is required in week 8, you are done with the first stage in the understanding by design, which is called desired results. These are the desired results, or what we are hopeful that the students can achieve after or by the end of studying this unit. So we have the theme, and I think you remember the the template I sent you.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
you have these things in the template. I will try to find it so that because you are
My mic open.
your mic is open. Why?
Sorry, sorry.
So if you look at this, this is what we are, I have just discussed with you. So here we have uh, you give a title to the unit, whatever the title you like, and have a theme. We have a grand challenge. That's the problem. The transfer goal is what we think our students will have after they finish studying this unit. It's like the big goal, and most of the time it's related to the four C's in 21st century skills: that communication, collaboration, critical thinking, creativity. So would say that after students study the unit of sustainability, their skills of creative and critical thinking would be enhanced. They will be able to understand how to face problems in their life and how to communicate and work together to solve these problems. So this is a transfer goal, and it's a part of quality and effective education. Because if the students are learning things in their schools, but these things are not by any means transferred to life, this education is meaningless. Because we know a lot of things, but when it comes to life issues, we don't know uh, how to use what we have learned in life in schools to life. And the big idea in the same cell. The big idea is like a summary of the unit. So you're going to say in this unit the students are going to study some math, some English, some science in order to understand how to solve the problem of using fossil fuels in order to increase sustainability. So these are very good points to help the reader um know what your unit is about. The second part is the desired results, which are the standards that I have uh, just told you. The standards should be found in uh, the books in the curriculum itself. So you don't have to write this. You don't write the standards, okay, guys? Don't write the standards. The standards are already found either in the curriculum. If you are doing American curriculum, it's found in your work. If it's a national curriculum, it should be in the curriculum too, or you can instead write the topics if you can find the standards. In STEM schools, I think you are covering learning outcomes, and the learning outcomes are a subset of the standards. Like this is the smaller branch of the standards. So after you write these things are not uh, uh, you're not writing them from your own, but you're getting them from the curriculum that you are teaching. Okay, and then you ask the essential question in the units, and the essential question is very critical for the unit. And to write a good essential question, uh, you need to know what your unit is pushing or driving the students to learn. So questions like how can we, for instance, can we reduce the use of fossil fuels is a good question. But a question like what are the fossil fuels is a very bad question. It cannot be used as an essential question. So the essential question is a question that is driving learning in the unit. And I think you have gone through this in Unit 503, right? You have uh, you have gone through how to write an essential question in 503. So these are the part on the desired results. After you write these desired results, you need to think of what is the evidence, what is the evidence that you think uh, should be there if we try to find out if the students have learned what we were planning for them to learn or not. And the evidence in this case is the assessment. And as you see, we use backward design. It's called backward design, okay? Because we started from with the end. We're starting from what will happen in life after the students are learning this, and then what are the goals we need them to achieve, and then what are the assessments that the students should perform or pass in order to know that they have learned what they should have learned. And in order to do the assessment, we have two kinds of assessment. One is the formative assessment, which is done throughout the unit. It's called ongoing assessment, or sometimes called assessment for learning, which is done every day while the students are learning. So we say in day one, the students are doing debates, presentations, quizzes, field trips, exit tickets. So a lot of different formative assessment. And at the same time, they should have a summative assessment, something that they should be doing at the end of the unit. And in our case, the students should be designing something, right? Building something, solving the problem, because we are going to concentrate our work in this unit, in this course, on project-based learning. That's why I'm asking you to wait till I finish discussing this. In the prompt, in the assignment, it's called problem or project-based learning. But we're going to put aside problem-based learning and concentrate on project-based learning because more STEM school is mainly about project-based learning. And the main difference between project-based learning is the final product of the curriculum. What is the final product of this unit? That the student should be able to design and build a solution to the problem. What is the problem? The problem is the use of fossil fuels. The fossil fuels like oil, coal, and similar things like this. So students are going to say, yeah, well, in order to solve the problem of fossil fuels, we need to use solar energy like solar cells, and we're going to build a solar cell to be used at homes, for instance. So this is a solution that the students bring to life in order to solve the problem. So that is, uh, in brief, what the project be about. Up to this moment, you need to stop at giving us samples or examples or ideas of assessment. You say, in this unit, we are going to do these formative assessment, and you list some of these formative assessment, either uh, during the whole unit, like following the engineering design process, or some assessment you can use during science lessons, English lessons, math lessons. Together with this, you need to give us details of the final assessment that will be done by the end of the unit. And when you are done with this, you will be done with the work of week 8 and week 9 if you are done with this. And I'm going to describe what should be done following after this if you have any questions before I proceed. I saw Mary Lee's hand raised, so please ask a question, Mary Lee's.
Hi, Dr. Muhammad.
Hi, hi.
I just have few questions. The first one is if we're comfortable in our group, do we have to change?
We need now questions about the project, about this, the Mary Lee's, about this, about this.
Okay.
Because
No, I was
we're not
following.
talking about we're not talking about project about groups now. We'll come to this. We'll come to this.
Okay.
يعني وانا بتكلم على الجروبس قعدت تسالوني على
Uh,
البروجكت، لما اجي اتكلم على البروجكت تسالوني على الجروبس. يا جماعه حرام عليكم، انتوا كده مش معقول تبقوا فيا ده.
I'm sorry, but I wasn't there in the beginning, and I wanted to apologize too about not answering. I thought it was just an announcement. I didn't know that we have to say anything about it. And I just have a little comment. Your voice is not really clear to me. I think it's a little bit far and not clear.
Is
Thank you so
this
much.
okay?
And
Is this for
sorry I
everybody? No
interrupted.
problem, no problem. Is this for everybody? Is it isn't it isn't clear for everybody, or it is clear?
Oh, it is clear
Yeah,
for me.
yeah. I hardly hear you, doctor.
It's really far.
Yeah.
So why
Yes,
didn't you say? Why
for
didn't you
me,
tell me that when I was talking, guys?
I
for
was
me
with
it's
my
clear.
group.
For me it's clear, doctor. I listen you very well.
Okay, so did you understand what I was talking about?
Yes, but I will
Yes,
have
we
just
did.
to be listen to it and raise the voice.
Okay.
So do you have any questions about this? Okay, yes.
Yeah. I have a question. Sorry about that.
Mm.
Normally, I don't know. I think I can get the theme and the essential question and feel all the parts of the unit clear in front of me. Um, I have to know each part continue from consist structure as of the unit. I don't know. I see the unit as a piece of puzzle. If I can't see all of its part, I can figure it out the essential question. Or we should have essential question at the beginning and then start to find
So
the
we
parts.
said we said what we are doing is called backward design,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Backward
Yes.
design, and this is now in progressive education. This is the best way to design uh, well designed curriculum. And
Hmm.
in backward design, we start with the theme, the problem, and the question. And based on these three things, we decide on the assessment, okay, and then we
Mm-hmm.
decide the learning plan. The learning plan. If this is the learning plan is what usually teachers do in their classes, right? So, so traditionally speaking, teachers start teaching, right,
Mm-hmm.
and then assessing, give the student assessment, and
Yes.
then after the student assessed, you go to live. If
That's
this if this cycle is not well made, right? If this is not well made, what will happen is that when those students go to live, what they have done here is not
okay.
related to life at all.
Yes, that's
So that's why we usually say doing uh, the backward design is or should be the best way of designing the curriculum. So
mm-hmm.
what we usually do in a nice way is to decide on a theme, and the theme is not decided from scratch. The theme comes from where? It comes from the curriculum, so
Yes. Yeah,
so
yeah, that's
so we have curriculum, we have some topics, right?
uh-huh.
We
We
sit
use it.
we sit together as a group of teachers or developers and whoever and say, okay, in order for the student to learn these topics well, what should the themes look like? So a theme like, and then we say the theme is based on the curriculum, and the challenge should be based on the theme, and these are the objectives or the goals, okay, based on the curriculum, the challenge, and the theme. So each part is based on the other in a very logical sequence. And based on the goals, we decide on the assessment, and based on the assessment, we decide on the learning plan. So this is the best way of designing a unit. You cannot say I should wait to see everything to ask a question. How can all these things from here are based on the question? You cannot say I should wait for these things to happen to ask the question. How can?
No, no, no. I talk about the theme itself, the main whole idea. Okay,
So
I get it. I get it.
you get it? Do you get it now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Is,
yeah.
is
Yeah,
it
thank you,
clear?
doctor. It's
Okay,
very
so
clear. Thank
let let me have any other questions, guys. Give me questions about the project, not about the groups, please. انتوا النهارده جايين تتكلموا على الجروبس ولا ايه؟ My friends, my dear friends. Mm. طيب. So if you don't have any questions of the project, that will be great. So, Osama, yes, you have a question?
Yes, as our project is about transportation, so I think in some discipline like physics, they are related directly to transportation. The having physics as like Newton's laws, like motion,
Mm-hmm.
something like this. But in other discipline like English, like computer science, we don't have direct concepts or topics for transportation, but we can design a tasks or something to task or functioning of computer science for serving the problem of transportation, like designing website, designing some program to facilitate transportation or to enhancing transportation.
Mm, yes, yes.
So,
So if you have that topic related to physics, it should be related to chemistry, it should be related also to computer science. You have answered the question about computer science. So students can design a program to facilitate maybe reserving tickets or a program to facilitate the appointments of the arrivals and departures, whatever they can do.
or
Also,
mm,
Also in English, English is open for any topic, so you don't have
mm,
to worry about English. English
mm,
can be done in reading, in writing, in communication, in the
mm,
poster presentation. So you don't have to worry about languages because languages should be used in every topic. So we have no problem about language itself.
mm.
The
Uh,
problem will be relinking the topic to the other subjects.
mm, uh, from my opinion, it's not the basic of we are like serving or servicing service or surrounding the problem, main problem, not of the core of the problem, because the science are the main science is the biology, physics, chemistry. This is the main sciences, I think, and the other like humanities like servicing or
We don't say,
surrounding.
yeah, we don't say serve, serving is a good thing to serve learning. That's a good thing, no problem about that. But actually, in STEM education is leaning heavily towards science, and that's because uh, um life issues are more related to scientific nature of scientific nature because life is completely biology, physics, movement, reactions like chemistry. So everything around us is uh, basically science. So that's why STEM education is leaning. We say it's leaning towards science, but when we start working on a problem which is more or less scientific in nature, we cannot do it well unless all the science disciplines, or at least two of them, are interacting well.
Mm,
And then we use engineering for the students to solve the problem, use engineering design process. Of course, you now are experts in engineering design process,
mm,
how the students are defining the problem, searching for solutions, designing a solution, testing, and communicating. So this engineering design process is essential,
mm,
very essential to follow.
mm,
And then students are using languages in order to do all the stuff, either the native language or English,
mm,
where they are doing the search, doing the writing, doing the communication, the presentation, and all these things. Um, the depth of the project will be reflected on the amount of different disciplines involved, like science, chemistry, physics, and biology, computer science, art. If there are um, opportunities for these things to be integrated in the project
mm,
and integrated in a logical manner, not forced.
mm,
Sometimes some teachers force a topic
mm,
to the project, which does not seem any need for it, but it's put because I want to show that art should be there. The nice thing, the great thing is
mm,
that when you design a project for the students to work on to solve a problem, and they found out, the students themselves, they found out that they need to know some artistic design things because they are designing something and they need to know more about artistic design. So now the need to learn is helping the students to learn better. So it's very nice for the group to discuss well, to choose a topic that is very good in aligning different subjects in a logical manner, which is something that I like to see in your projects.
mm.
Any questions? I
Yes.
saw other people.
Mm,
Yes, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
okay. And I think transportation is nowadays is very important,
Mm-hmm.
especially now we have two problems in Egypt, one about trains and the other in the Suez Canal, and this is all transportation issues.
Yes, yes, yeah, excellent. So can use
Yeah.
the accident of the trains and Suhag as a starting point to grab the students' attention to help how to solve problems like this in the future, and that's a nice thing to happen. Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Actually, computer programming and the control systems are used very nowadays in controlling the railway stations
Yes.
for organizing the trains. Okay.
Yes, yes. This is a very good
Thanks.
idea. This is a very good topic. Yes, yes. Who is asking?
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, Osama. Good, good. Hanan, and then Hanan, and then Amin.
Thanks.
Rania,
Thank you.
Hanan.
Okay, thank you. Um, I want to speak about our project in details more because I want to reflect my own when we are talking about transportation represent in our unit.
So this is the
Uh,
same project of Osama, right?
yes.
So why you want to talk about it in detail now?
I want to ask the main point in our thoughts, our ideas. When we are collect ideas to um, solve the problem of transportation, we can solve it in many levels.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. When we are start our unit, I hope to the put basics in our unit to get finish it after 3 weeks from now.
Mm-hmm.
يعني احنا لازم نخلصها بعد 3 أسابيع من دلوقتي.
وانتوا مين بقى تخلصوها؟ عايزين
قصدي
نفهمها
أقول
واحدة واحدة
إن
كده. أيوه، قولي بأي لغة تعجبك. I can't hear you, Hanan. Hanan, can you say
احنا
I can't hear you. مم. طيب أنا ممكن أسأل question للناس كلها عشان أكون أنتوا كلكم فاهمين هنتكلم في إيه. Who is going to solve the problem? You, the teachers, or the students?
The
The
students.
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 The students.
طيب يبقى احنا ليه احنا بنحط في
Students.
دماغنا ان احنا نحط solutions؟ احنا هنقول لهم ان عندنا did you see the trains collision in Sohag? Okay. And the question is how, for instance, how to stop this, right?
Um,
So this would
طيب
be like how can we stop train accidents in Egypt, for instance.
بس هو
So
مش المفروض ان انا اللي هقيمه، فلازم ابقى
قيم
عارفة الحل، اقيم الحلول بتاعتهم.
لا خد ما احنا طيب
احنا دلوقتي
ركزوا معايا بس عشان احنا ركزوا
اوكي.
ثانية واحدة بس معايا. So we're not having a model answer.
Yeah,
So in STEM education we don't have model answer. Okay, guys?
yeah, yeah,
But we have a rubric for the project. A rubric.
yeah,
What is
sure.
a rubric? The rubric is like the criteria of having a good project. So we say you have a lot of rubrics in your assignments, and all your assignments have a rubric. I would like to see this in the project. So if we don't have a model answer, this means that the students have the freedom to come up with solutions that can solve this problem, okay, based on what they learn in the class, because they are going to learn physics, English, math, and so on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And based on what they search, right, you do other independent learning, and that satisfy my rubric. So their answer or their solution of the problem should be based on the three things that the students should know at the very beginning of the project. The first thing is the plan of learning. So in day one, we're going to learn this. In day two, we're going to learn this. In day three, we're going to learn this. The second thing is we're going to give them tasks to search for more information to help them solve the problem. And we're giving them a rubric for the final project. In your final project, we need to have a portfolio of research, we need to have a prototype of the solution, we need to have a poster, and each one of the three things should have some criteria. So we say that the prototype should be used or made using a certain programming language. The prototype should be cheap, should be easy to use, should have used materials from the environment, and so on and so. So we're telling them, but we're not telling them what is the solution.
Yeah.
We're telling them how the solution should look like and should include in terms of the three things: the learning, the search, and the rubric. But we don't have any clue what is a model answer for the solution. So that's why the teachers shouldn't have, like what you say, shouldn't know the solution. You don't have to know a solution. You have to apply the rubric. You have to apply the rubric on the student solution, and that's it.
That's easy. Okay.
Is that clear?
Yeah, very much.
Yes, doctor. Yes, it's very clear.
Okay, thank you. Have another hand raised. Please go ahead.
As you see, as you said, this doctor, the evaluators come to us to evaluate the project. There is no tell us there is no best solution or best project or the first project. All of this, all evaluators evaluate the rubric. Student follow the rubric or not.
Yes.
There is no best answer or best solution.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I understand you.
Thank you, رانيا.
منال.
منال ايه؟ مال مكتوبة رانيا ليه؟
أنا منال والله.
لا مش منال، معرفكيش انت منال مين؟ معرفش انا منال مين. منال دي يا جماعة مش معقول كده. طيب رانيا كانت عايزة تسأل سؤال، اتفضلي يا رانيا. انت ولا مش عايزة تسألي خلاص؟ يا أستاذة رانيا روحتي؟ طب رانيا في المطبخ، لما ترجع من المطبخ كلمونا بقى يا جماعة. طيب شفتوا الديفلوبمنت بتاع البروجكت بيمشي ازاي يا شباب، ولا نقوله تاني؟
هو أنا غالبا I had a connection problem. Sorry, doctor. But I want to ask about the theme handout that we supposed to upload it in this week.
طب انا هنيجي بس الويكس والابلودنج بعد شويه، بس انا عايزكم بس تفهموا الكور اوف ذا بروبلم. الموضوع كده فهمناه كده ولا لسه يا جماعه شباب؟
ايوه بس انا
ما انتوا كنتوا في 503 بتعملوا ايه؟ مش كنتوا بتعملوا حاجه زي كده ولا ما عملتوش ولا ايه النظام؟
لا احنا عملنا الكورس اللي فات. عملنا بروبلم بيز.
امال احنا لسه بنسال في حاجات اعتقد ان هي المفروض اتقالت قبل كده.
لا احنا عملنا، ما كانش فيه مشكله.
والله كان حلو يعني.
كان حلو. طب هو احنا يا دكتور لو عندنا يعني حاجات في البروجكت بتاعنا نفسه ينفع نعمل 1 to 1 سيشن مع حضرتك؟
لو انتوا ايه؟
لو احنا عايزين نسأل أسئلة عن البروجكت بتاعنا، يعني مثلا احنا عملنا شغل وعايزين حاجة تشوفوا معانا تقول لنا لا غيروا ده، لا
طبعا انتوا ما لسه انا هتكلم دلوقتي. احنا هنعمل البروجكت ده زي ما انا قلت لكم كده. هتفتحوا جوجل دوكيمنت، هتبداوا تكتبوا كل الحاجات اللي احنا اتكلمنا عليها.
احنا عملنا كده فعلا وعملنا لها شير مع حضرتك.
ايوه. طب ده جروب اللي هو بتاع مي، مش كده؟ مي اللي هي
ايوه بالظبط كده. احنا مع مي.
انا عارف كلكم هتعملوا كده، وهتلاقوني دايما انا وراكم في الجوجل دوكيمنت وبقول لكم فيدباك على طول. ولو حبينا نتقابل مره تانية اوكي، ما عنديش اي مشكله. بس لما نكون احنا بنتقابل، المفروض الكورس ده اصلا مقابلات فيه قليله، المفروض ما نعملش مقابلات كتيره. بس احنا بنحاول نعمل السبورت على قد ما نقدر من غير ما نتقابل. لو اضطرينا نتقابل فده مفيش اي مشكله. ماشي يا شباب؟
اوكي دكتور.
Doctor, can we have your Gmail to add you to our document?
كان my email ده الايميل بتاع منور الموديل خالص يا جماعه.
بتاع الكوليدج الايميل بتاع
رفض يخليني ابعت لحضرتك مسج عليه. انا حاولت ابعت لحضرتك ايميل عليه، رفض على الجيميل. قال لي مش عارف، انا مش عارفه اتواصل مع حضرتك من بدري.
الو.
ايوه حنان. الو، انا مش عارفه هو
حنان،
في مشكله.
هو في ايه؟ في
غالبا
حاجة
في
حصلت؟
ازيكم يا
مشكلة.
جماعة؟
مش
عاملة ايه يا
عارفه.
حنان؟
ازيك يا رانيا؟
اخبارك ايه؟
انتوا كيف؟ الحمد
في مشكلة في
لله.
النت
ازيكم جميعا؟
غالبا، عمال يخرجنا ويدخلنا بلا شيء.
الحمد لله يا حنان، ازيك عامله ايه؟ هو على فكره دايما يسالني عنك وعايز يبعت لك على طول، بس انا بمنعه يعني.
ابراهيم.
اه والله.
ابراهيم سلمي لي عليه.
الله يسلمك يا حبيبي.
هو الدكتور ما خرجش، بس هو غالبا يعني ممكن يكون في مشكلة بقى.
طيب انا عايزه اكلمكم واتناقش معاكم انتوا يا جماعه لما الدكتور يبقى معانا.
في ايه؟
الجزئيه الجزئيه اللي هي في التشالنج، اللي فيها ان احنا ما بنديش حل للطالب. انا مقتنعه بده فعلا، بس احنا لما بيجي لنا التشالنج من ستيم، ايه الديزاين ريكوايرمنتس، يعني انا عايز الحل بتاعك يبقى في الحدود الفلانيه طبقا للليفل اللي الطالب فيه. هو ده كان قصدي.
مش دي الروبريك؟
يعني انا
ما هو
مثلا
ما هو انت يا حنان
احل ترانسبورتيشن في الميكانيكس، في الفيزيكس مثلا.
مظبوط مظبوط. معلش انا ما سمعتش حاجه من بعد الايميل. انا كنت بدور على حاجه كان بيطلب الايميل بتاعي. مين اللي كان بيطلب الايميل بتاعي؟
انا يا دكتور لو سمحت.
مع انه موجود
اعمل
على
له بريدج
انا مفيده.
مثلا، او ممكن احل في مرحله. انا صحيح ليفل في الاندرستاندينج وليفل في الدراسه، وبالتالي موضوعات معينه. فلما نيجي مثلا هنعمل انتجريشن ما بين الكمبيوتر ساينس
وانا بعت البتاع اشمعنى داليا بيقول لي ابعت لداليا بس ليه؟
والفيزيكس في ترانش، او ما هو مش ممكن الكمبيوتر ساينس يدخل في زي ما احنا عملنا كده سكتش اب. يعني انا برسم 3 دي لمجسم انا عامله المجسم ده
هو مين اللي بتتكلمي عليها حنان دلوقتي؟ بس كده بتطلعينا بره الموضوع.
اصلا عشان يتبني على الواقع محتاج يفهم يعني ايه فورس، محتاج يفهم.
يا ست حنان، يا ست حنان.
ايوه دكتور
بس
محمد.
بقى يا ست حنان،
يا اهلا.
اهلا بيك. اسكتي بقى. ده انت عامله لنا
خلاص اوكي
دوشه.
انا هسكت.
انا قد ايه الدوشه اللي انت عاملاها دي يا حنان؟ بقى اهدي بقى شويه عشان نشوف ربنا ايه.
هو لسه صوت الله، بس عبال ما الصوت يوصل.
منتظرين حضرتك تدخل حاجه تاني.
ما انا بقول اسكتوا بقى. انا بقول لكم انا جبت لكم الايميل، كنت بجيبه من حته بعيد وجاي.
يا دكتور
الايميل من عنده موديل
انا رحت اجيب الايميل. خلاص يعني احنا مبسوطين.
لا انا مبسوط ان انتوا قاعدين. اهم حاجه عندي بس ان في مشكله في ستيم، ان الناس ساعات بتاخده يعني من غير ما تفهم الكور ايديز بتاعته. فاهم حاجه عندي بس اطلعوا من الكورس فاهمين يعني ايه ستيم وبتمشي ازاي. مش يعني ودي حاجه مهمه. لو في عندنا مسكونسبشنز يبقى فرصه كويسه جدا ان احنا نحلها مع بعض ونعرفها. فعايزكم تسالوا زي ما تقدروا علشان نقدر نفهم كل حاجه. بس واحنا بنسال نركز على الحته اللي انا مش فاهمها قوي، لان هي دي اللي هتبقى اساس الشغل بتاعنا كلنا. طيب احنا كده فهمنا البروجكت هيمشي ازاي، صح؟ في حد عنده مشكله في اللي احنا قلناه ده؟
تمام.
لا يا دكتور مفيش.
انا عايزه اسال سؤال واحد يا دكتور لو سمحت.
اتفضلي يا استاذه مروه. مروه مرتضى منصور.
لا ماليش دعوه بيه.
طيب ماشي.
هو ايه الفرق بين اليونت دي واليونت اللي احنا عملناها في 503؟ يعني احنا عملنا في 503 اي بي اس نفس الخطوات.
كويس جدا.
ايه الفرق؟ يعني هيبقى ايه المختلف عنها؟
طيب ده سؤال انا احب اتكلم. هو ده كلام مظبوط. احنا في كل موديول من ستام من الدبلومه دي هتلاقي نفسك مطلوبه تعملي في الاخر يونت كده. نستخدم فيها حاجه اسمها understanding by design. صح؟ اتفقنا كده مع بعض؟
صح.
صوت حضرتك مش باين يا دكتور، معلش.
مش باين؟ صوتي مش باين؟
بعيد شوية.
بعيد وواطي
الصوت
شويه
طب كده كده واضح كده كده واضح
بيقطع.
كده واضح كده ولا ايه؟
كده تمام.
كده اوضح؟
يس.
طيب الاندرستاندنج باي ديزاين ده لها 3 ستيجز. اول حاجه الديزايرد ريزلتس اللي احنا قلنا عليها الجولز والستاندردز والاوبجكتيفز والليرنينج اوتكمز والاسينشال كويستشن كل الكلام ده اوكي.
تمام.
والستيج الثانيه اسمها اسسمنت ايفيدنس اللي احنا قلنا نحط لازم نعمل عندنا ايفيدنس ان الستودنتس عرفوا الحاجات دي. الستيج الثالثه اللي هي الليرنينج بلان. ليرنينج بلان اللي هو ايه اللي هيحصل كل يوم في في اليونت كل يوم. نقول دي 1 بيعملوا كذا ودي 2 بيعملوا كذا ودي 3 بيعملوا كذا وهكذا. طيب في كل كورس من الكورس بتاعت الدبلومه زي ما انت كنت ماشيه كده من اول 503 لغايه الاخر خالص 507 هيطلب منك تعملي يونت زي دي. الناس اللي عايزه تتعلم الاكيوميليشن يعني الريبيتيشن اوف دوينج ذا سيم ثينج will make it perfect صح؟ بس الناس بقى مش واحد يجي يقول لي ايه، واحد يبقى كويس يقول لي انا اللي انا عملته 5 و3 هعمله النهارده 5 و4 هو نفس الموضوع وننقل من بعض وننقل اللي فات. ده this will be very disastrous. هيبقى مشكله كبيره جدا. It will be very big problem for you because you're not going to learn because learning needs practice, right? And doing the units in each course is a way of practicing this. Okay, guys?
Yes.
So if you made a unit in 503, we make another one in 504, but with the focus on what is the focus here is the engineering design process because this is a course of engineering, right? Yes. The course is called engineering design process, and this should be very clear in the unit. Very clear in the unit. How? I'm going to let you know in a very simple terms. So after you do the desired results, stage 1, okay, and then you do the evidence, stage 2. In stage 3, much work should be done because you're going to do 2 things together in the learning plan. One thing is academic part, which are going to say what the students are going to learn each day in each subject, okay?
Yes.
So day 1 in physics, day 2 in chemistry, day 3 in English, social studies are going to give us details of this. In parallel to that, in a parallel mode, they're going to tell us day 1 problem definition, day 2 search solutions. What are these? These are the EDP process. So we're going to adopt here, we're going to follow a parallel system of designing our unit. And that parallel system is looking at 2 things in parallel at the same time. So while the students study chemistry, English, and physics, they are discussing together the problem. What is the problem? How big is a problem? How far is a problem? Is it a real problem? Is it an Egyptian problem? Is it something related to their lives or not? So this is a discussion of the first stage in the engineering design process. And then after they decide on the problem, they are going to search for solutions to that problem. And the good teacher is helping the students to narrow down the problem to things that they can manage to solve. So if our problem is fossil fuels, and fossil fuels is a big thing, we can narrow down the problem to using a lot of petrol in cars in our governorate in Asyut or Cairo or Alexandria. And then the solution is how to help the cars use less petrol, right? So here the problem is narrowed down, it's becoming shorter, smaller, so that the students can solve. And then they start to look for solutions, and then they may find a solution or they create their own solution. They create a prototype of the solution, they test it. This is done in parallel to what they are doing in the academics. So what is different in this course is your emphasis on the engineering design process in parallel to what they do every day in their classes in different subjects. Okay?
Okay.
Excuse me, doctor.
Yeah.
You mean in the first unit, from the first lesson, we told the student the problem or the challenge,
Yes.
and
Yes.
every day we discuss with the student about this problem and how to
Yes.
solve it.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Yes. Good. Good. So
thank you.
the first day in an Egypt in a not Egyptian, so it's in any STEM unit. The first day in a STEM unit is introducing the problem and the essential question. So guys, we show them videos of the trains and videos of the accident and videos of the pollution in the air, and we grab their attention to the problem so much that they start to be um, think of how to solve this problem to serve their people and to serve their country. And when this problem is now clear for them, we give them the essential question at the end of day one. Oh, okay, guys, have you seen this? How can we help solve this problem? How can we help reduce the pollution in our streets that is due to cars using a lot of petrol? How can we help our trains move in a safer manner without having these big accidents? These are good essential questions because it's going to drive the students' learning in order to help them solve the problem. So on day one, in day one, in any STEM unit, it's called the introduction of the unit, or sometimes we call it day zero because it's not counted in the learning plan. Day zero is a day where the students are introduced very clearly and in an engaging manner to the problem, introduced to the problem. And that day, we call it day zero, ends up with the essential question. So the last thing in that day is the essential question. Okay, guys?
Okay.
Okay, doctor, understand.
So I'm trying to make it as clear as I can, very clear. And so your questions are good questions. So ask as many as you can. Is
Thank
every
you,
step
doctor.
in the project clear, guys?
I want to ask a doctor, at the first of the unit, we tell the student the problem, but not the challenge or not the project we need them to do or to design.
No, 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 no.
Uh,
Yeah, no, of
uh,
course. You give them the problem, and then we're going to lead them throughout the unit so
how to
that,
solve the problem.
yes, so that they solve it on their own with our support.
But in summative assessment, we give the student the design, the project we want them to do,
The rubric. Yeah,
to
we ask,
apply all the information we give him.
yes, yes,
Mm,
yes, right.
okay, understand.
We
Okay,
don't give
thank
them
you.
the solution, but we give them the task and the rubric, and we're following up with them every day
And the
because,
information about all the problems.
yes, of
Let
course.
them. Oh, okay, thank you.
Welcome, welcome. Other questions, guys?
So, doctor, the steps of EDB will be clear in the unit flow only,
It
or
must be clear in the unit flow, which are the learning plan. We call it, the unit flow is the learning plan. The same thing. I'm using the learning plan for the unit. The flow is the same. Okay.
yes.
So I usually do something like this. I'll show it if you'd like to have. So this is the learning plan. Sorry. Uh, so if this is the learning plan or the flow, you call it what you like, and then I make two columns. One academic and the other one EDP. So here we're going to say, so this is day one, for instance, day one, what they do here and what they do here. Day two, what they do here and what they do here. Day three, and so on and so forth. And we need to make this clear because this course is about engineering design process.
يعني 503 احنا كنا بنركز على الاكاديميك بارت بس في الفلو اوف ذا يونت.
Yes.
هنا هيبقى الناحيتين.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you, doctor.
Everything is clear now?
Yes,
Yes,
very
yes,
clear.
doctor, yes.
Doctor, الفلو for the unit, not for this week.
No, the flow is the for the whole. So what I'm saying now, guys, is for the work from today to the end of the course. Okay, so this is the final project which you are going to present on the final day of the course. Okay, and I'm going to tell you what you are going to do in each week. So don't jump to this. I'm now asking about your understanding of the process. Is that okay?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
Okay, it's clear.
Okay, nice.
Final
Okay.
question. Final question. This will be on
مين
model.
مين بتقول final question؟
أنا مشيرة
يا مشيرة حرام عليك يا مشيرة، انت تعبتينا معاك يا مشيرة.
جدا، معلش. أنا آسفة.
مش معقول كده يا داليا اللي مشيرة تعمله فينا ده. انا وقعكم في بعض اهو. ينفع كده يا داليا اللي مشيرة تعمله فينا ده كويس يعني؟
لازم تدي بدلوها. You're welcome مشير.
You're welcome, Miss Dalia.
ايوه كده، عايزكم تحبوا بعض يا جماعة.
هنلعب حلوين مع بعض.
يلا يا مشيرة قولي السؤال.
احنا نسلمه امتى بس؟
لا سيبكم من تقييم، لا خليكم بقى معايا نمسك ويك مع بعض كده عشان نفهم ماشيين ازاي. اوكي
طيب احنا كده هنحتاج نعمل يعني تعديل، فممكن بس يعني ناخد وقتنا بحيث ان احنا نعدله
طبعا.
ونرفعه.
طيب انا هقول لكم على كل حاجه دلوقتي.
تمام اوكي.
From this week, from today، خلي بالكم معايا كده. From this week, you don't mind about deadlines. يعني from this week to week 12, what you're going to do is create the Google Doc. خلاص عرفنا يعني ايه Google Doc طبعا.
Yes.
And there I will see the flow of the unit. If the flow is okay, if you are working well, I will give you the grades here. If the flow is not okay, I will let you know and support so that it's going well to the end of the course. What you need to do is to do all the discussions here. So just if you look at this one, start your STEAM unit design. Look at this. This is a discussion. So you need to read the description here and discuss it. Give your opinion because this is very important for our work together, as our group work together. All right, guys.
Okay.
All right, doctor.
So as a group, you're going to read this, and it's very easy thing because you are already working on the Google Doc. All right, and you write your reflections here. So we are going to see three things because there are three groups, and each group is going to write a comment on each work. So here is the place they're going to use the theme assessment handout. Look at the assessment handout. Look at each group theme and assess your work together. So this is the thing I'd like to see in week 8. Okay.
Okay.
Doctor, can you open the theme assessment handout?
Can I do it?
Can you open it and يعني we want to ask you some question about it.
يا سلام. شفتيها كده؟
Yes.
Can you see it?
Yes.
So if I have a theme, okay.
Okay.
We will have to answer this question. Is this theme one that has a connection to documents? Connection to documents here means the curriculum. Okay. So if the theme is related to the curriculum or not. So the people would say, yeah, our theme is transportation because students are studying this and this in physics or this and this in science. So they give us a brief about how the theme is related to the curriculum. If you think that the theme is not related to the curriculum, so you say no, and you write a comment. You write why you think so. Is it connected to the standards? Okay. And in order to do this, you need to see the standards. So that they're going to tell you, yeah, our standards are the American standards 1, 2, 3, or the Egyptian standards, whatever they are, and then you say yes or no. Does the theme has background from teachers' experience? So do you think that the theme that the group is presenting has any relation with what the teachers are teaching? So if the group is all English teachers, for instance, and they are producing a unit on plants, you might ask them question. So how are you going to do this? Because you are all English teachers. There is no science teacher in the group, okay? It's something like that. This is a kind of discussion to make sure that everything is going well. The length, does the theme need a lot of time to be learned or not? Is it a short, the essential question of the theme will be a long question or a short one? Are there available materials and resources for that theme to be studied? Right? Application to students, is it related to our life? Is it something that we have any connection to in our life? Okay, is there any motivation, interest in studying it? Or is it a boring unit, or sorry, a boring theme? Okay. Does it have any value or worth in some instance? Is it a valuable thing? Does it deserve the time we spend in designing it or studying it? Okay. And then the last and the last and the pre-last thing, 9 and 10, are the things you would like to add to make this theme stronger. So you would say, if I were you, I would add something to the theme to make it stronger. So each group is going to say, our theme is whatever, transportation, or our theme is transportation. Our grand challenge is trains accidents. And students are studying this in math and science and engineering, and they're going to work together to produce an automatic control system so that these accidents are not whatever. So you read this and you evaluate the theme according to these 10 points. Okay, guys?
Okay, doctor, thank you.
And that kind of communication together is very good for learning. Yani, it does not mean when you say it's a good theme or not a good theme, does not mean anything. It means that we are learning from each other, and that's it.
Yes.
Okay.
This part, final project part 1, don't submit anything on it. I will see this on the Google Doc. Okay, guys?
Okay.
Okay, doctor. Okay.
So let's see week 9, which is the week starting from today. You are going to do a lot of discussions in this week, because this week, if you see a lot of discussions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 discussions. That's why and if you go to week 10, from week 10 to 12, there not much discussion. So week 9 is the one with the most reflection, and I hope that you do this day by day. So let's see. If you are done with this, with the unit design, the theme assessment, this one. If you are done with this, like maybe in 2 days, so today is Wednesday, so maybe by Friday, you'll be done with this. Let's have this plan, Friday. Is that okay?
Yes, okay.
بس يا بنت صغيرة.
اوكي.
انت يا جميلة، بنت مين اللي ماتت تقول لنا حاجات حلوة دي؟
فريدة بنتي.
فريدة بنتك. ازيك يا فريدة، عاملة ايه؟
الحمد
يا
لله.
فريدة. فريدة، ماما بتذاكر يا فريدة ولا بتلعب؟
ماما بتذاكر ولا بتلعب؟
بتلعب طبعا.
بابا.
بابا اللي بيذاكر. يبقى بابا بيذاكر لك يا رانيا من دلوقتي، من اولها بتغش يا رانيا.
والله بتقول اياد هو اللي بيذاكر، اخوها اللي بيذاكر مش ماما.
اوكي فريده، خلي ماما تذاكر شويه يا فريده عشان ماما تعبانه جدا، مش عارفين نعمل منها اي حاجه. طيب لو احنا خلاص عرفنا فرايداي، خلصنا الدسكشن بتاع يونت بتاع ويك 8، والجوجل دوك شغال، جوجل دوكيمنت شغال يا شباب. طيب هنعمل these discussions ازاي؟ reflection on the process. The process is اللي هي بتاعت ايه البروسيس؟ مين يفكرني ايه البروسيس اللي احنا شغالين عليها؟ اللي هي يونت ديفلوبمنت، صح؟ احنا عاملين نعمل يونت، صح؟ ديفلوبمنت.
يس.
نعملها فين يا شباب؟ ها؟
على الجوجل دوكيومنت.
جوجل دوكيمنت.
على جوجل دوكيومنت.
تمام. لا ده فريدة عندها تأثير جامد عليكم.
I already added you now, doctor.
طيب.
فريدة بتذاكر معانا دايما.
Okay. Yes. So how is the process going? Do you have all your objectives? Huh? Do you use the connection between assessment and objectives? طبعا قلنا ان اول حاجة عندنا objectives وبعدين assessment، صح؟ What are the main obstacles and challenges? What are the problems you are facing? So this is a group discussion, and then you can submit it individually. Okay? So this is the first thing, and this can be on Saturday.
يعني كل واحد هيسبمت ده individually يا دكتور؟
Yes.
اوكي.
لو انتوا كلكم اتفقتوا ان هي one thing، يعني you don't have to يعني you don't have any problems or any difficulties or any, differences, so it's okay, you can submit one thing.
Okay.
As a group. If you think you need to add more ideas, so you can do that. The second discussion is on designing the flow, and the flow again is what? Is the learning plan. How should the unit look like? خلاص نبدأ من day 1 day 2 مش عارف مين ال EDP هنا وهنا ال lessons وهكذا. Okay. Again in the same groups. الجروبس اللي انتوا انا ما اعرفش بقى تغيروها ولا انتوا حبيتوا بعض دلوقتي؟ خلاص حبينا بعض يا شباب. مش عايز اقول اسماء بقى، الناس اللي عارفين اللي هم معروفين. حبيتوا بعض ولا غيرتوا ولا ايه؟ طيب هنشوف الموضوع ده بعدين. هتقروا برضو البرومبت دهيت، وبعدين في عندنا هنا ويك 9 اكتيفيتي. نبص كده على ويك 9 اكتيفيتي بيقول لنا ايه؟ designing the flow. بص كده على الفلو ده بيقول لنا في عندنا objectives، في عندنا كاتب لي هو بيدينا ده this is a sample of a unit about solar system. Okay, and these are the objectives in each subject. Okay, and what is does that need is if you have this challenge, okay, for this theme, and you have these objectives, what are the activities you have in mind that the teacher should use, okay, to teach this or to teach this unit? What are the assessments? Okay, that very quick, so you don't have to make many or much of these. This is like a training on understanding by design, a training on using the planning tool of the UPD, the understanding by design. It's helping you to understand how you look at the objectives and design the assessment and the flow or the learning plan of the unit. Okay, and here they're asking you to use any of these. Okay, but it's up to you. You can do this on any document and add it to the discussion here. Maya, and you are working again in the same groups.
Okay.
So in this document, you have objectives. What else you need to add to this document is the assessment and the flow of activities that you think should be used for the students to learn these objectives. And this can be done by, are you following? Are you writing after me? So the last thing in Unit 8 will be Friday. The first thing in Unit 9 will be done by Saturday. And this work, because I think that this will need more time, can be done by Monday. Okay? By next Monday. Okay, guys?
Next Monday is the end of week 9.
And you can, no, this next Monday for this activity.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
The third activity, which week 9 has a lot of activities, and it's very important to keep track of that. Think of the following question: what is the difference between problem and project-based learning? This is a question about how you think is the difference between the project-based learning and the problem-based learning when you do the flow design. The flow design is a learning plan. When you do the learning plan, what is the difference between both of them? In the project-based learning, I will leave this for you to answer, and I will have comments when you write this. And because you don't have to write much, and this can be done by Tuesday. So this one can be done by Tuesday. The last two from here, we are talking about how the lesson, each lesson, is designed. So we agree that we'll have two parallel things. One is academic days, day 1, 2, 3, and 5, for instance, and one is engineering design stages, right?
Yes.
Right.
In
Right.
there is a very nice design of STEM lessons that teachers, if teachers follow them, they will do a very good job. The design is like this. We have three stages or activities on each lesson, three main activities. One of them is called initiating activity. Initiating activity, like the first start, the start activity. And the second thing is the ongoing activity. And the last thing is culminating activity. So how you divide your lesson into these three stages is very critical and very good for the teachers. So the initiating activity is like the warm up, the brainstorming ideas, the welcoming class, and how you link what the students are learning today with what they have learned before. The ongoing activity is the activity that the focus of the day, what the core of the lesson. This is the thing that the students are going to make sure that they understand in order to continue and their learning of this topic. So they link what they have learned before with what they are learning today and what they are going to learn in the future. The culminating activity is like wrapping everything up or having an assessment by the end of the day. So here in these parts, you are going to learn a lot about these types of activities, and you are going to have good handouts and resources that you can use in doing these activities on each day. And I hopefully these two discussions can be done by uh, Friday of next week. So by Friday of next week, which is I will look at the calendar now. Friday of next week is April 9. April 9. April 9. So by April 9, all these activities should be done. This is a good time. I'm giving you a good time here, like 10 more than 10 days. to do all the activities of week 8 and 9. While you are working together on what? Huh?
The Google
On the
document.
Google
Google
document.
documents. Mm.
Don't, don't forget about that. So by April 9, we'll be done with these things. Okay? After April 9, after April 9, all our time will be devoted to uh, the final project. Okay? And we'll be meeting on the final set will be April 21st. April, yes, it would be April 21st. April 21st.
21.
This will be 21, yes. This will be in Ramadan, and we'll discuss together when it will be, and after or before iftar, and we'll have this discussion on WhatsApp. And on that day, each group is going to present the unit they have developed to the class. But before that time, I will be following up and giving feedback so that if I missed, like if you find out that I forgot your document, remind me by a WhatsApp message that please have a look at our work. Please have a look at our work. Something like that. Okay. بس ما حدش يشتم يعني هو بيبعت البتاع. ماشي يا شباب. وانتوا معايا ولا روحتوا؟
مع حضرتك يا دكتور.
والله شكلكم.
Doctor, I have a question. It might be stupid. In the last module, we were talking about the activities, the culminating activity, the initiating activity, and the ongoing activity. And Dr. Shireen was saying that it's not supposed to be only for one lesson. It's supposed to be for the whole unit. So we should have an initiating activity as a session, a whole session for the whole unit, and an ongoing activity throughout the unit, and the culminating activity for the whole unit. So do you mean that we have to do it both ways now? Every lesson has to have the three activities, and the whole unit has to have the three activities too?
Primarily, this is a good question. We have said today that for the unit, we have day 0, remember?
Yes.
And what is day 0 about? Is
the starting event, the initiating activity, or the introduction of the unit.
Introducing the unit, right? And in
Yeah.
introduction of the unit, you have to talk about the problem, why it's a problem, whatever you're going to do, and then you end it with the essential question. You can consider this as the initiating activity, okay? Then, through the different days, so day 1, 2, 3, up to whatever you like, the students are learning stuff that is helping them to solve the problem. مش كده؟
Yes.
And at the same time, parallel to that, they are following the engineering design process here. So on day 1 here, they're doing the problem definition. Day 2, they're searching solution. Day 3, they are, and so on and so forth. How can I make one activity for all these days? Okay.
Okay. So in the inquiry-based unit, where we were following the inquiry steps, so we could do the experiment divided or split on the days. But now we want to make separate small activities beside the engineering design process as a whole activity. So now we need to do it both ways.
Yes, that's why this is a project business. This is a little bigger than the one you did in 503.
Okay, thank you so much.
Is that clear for you now?
Yes, doctor.
Yes, perfectly clear. Thank you so much.
You are more than welcome, guys. Other questions? Do you have any other questions? Okay, so you will also have the recording of this session. I will upload it to the WhatsApp group and the Moodle, so that you have the chance to listen to it again. If you have any things, please ask me. And good luck. I think you have a good plan for your work. So we are going to finish all the discussion topics on the Moodle by April 9th, right? And then from April 9th to April 21, which 21st, you'll be finalizing your final project. And in all cases, I will be following your Google Doc. And if I miss for any reason or I forgot or whatever, just remind me that I haven't visited your doc for a long time. Any final questions?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
I hope that everything is clear for everybody now, and you are following the process in a nice way.
Yes,
Thank
clear.
you.